Sie ist vor kurzem zum 30 Under 30 Megawatt Supply Chain Star gewählt mit dem Vortrag Digitizing the Human Touch, Transforming Talent and Impact of Young Professionals, Sie zu begeistern. Begrüßen Sie mit einem starken Applaus Charlotte de Brabandt.
You know, we are all sports people, so I think it's time to get the energy going, get your oxygen in, and now please sit down. Great, oh my goodness, I can feel the energy. Fantastic. All right, so just out of curiosity, when you read this morning, when everybody came in and you got the agenda and you read this title, Digitizing the Human Touch, I wonder what was the first thing that came into your mind this morning? Was it maybe some heartless hardware, some software, or maybe even Sophia, who just recently received the first citizenship from Saudi Arabia and even has her own credit card to go shopping, which she just did in Dubai a couple of weeks ago. I would like to give you a bit of an overview of what the future will behold in leadership. But before I go to the agenda, just a quick overview about myself. My name is Charlotte de Brabandt in the field of supply chain and procurement for just over 10 years. I've worked in the field of automotive, consumer goods, pharmaceutical, medical devices across China, Europe, so truly bringing together this whole, not only industry knowledge, but also intercultural knowledge. And today I would like to talk to you about global trends which are affecting organizations, technologies, which we've now had a fantastic introduction this morning, and how that will impact the way organizations operate, the culture, the role of leadership in the future. And then after the talk from Simon, following on now how to retain and motivate all of the generations in the workforce. And then my recommendation to you, my tips for you to take home and hopefully implement in your organization. Global trends, it's truly a very, very interesting time for all of us. Global trends are affecting the way we operate, and I believe it's really the key drivers, it's all due to these political, economic, and social variables that we have going. We have global trends such as the whole digital mobile future, change in demographics, the whole contingent workforce. I mean, we need to keep in mind that nowadays 50% of all of our workforce is made out of millennials. Then the whole trend is going towards CSR, corporate social responsibility, sustainability being a big topic, following on also to diversity and inclusion, and having this whole traceability, transparency of the whole supply chain in total. But I wonder how all of these changes are really going to impact us. How is it going to impact the way we operate, the way we will live in the future? And the whole transformation of technologies, it can be beneficial to the way we work, to our organizations. It may help us to overcome certain boundaries and even overcome certain challenges. And the pace of automation has just increased to the advent of driverless cars, pilotless drones, automated retail checkouts such as kiosks. And that all comes down together to these all of these intelligent systems acting as humanoid robots. And especially now is the time to be pioneers in our organizations, through the data, through technology, through all the analytics which we have available to us. Be pioneers to find solutions and be the driver for change. Because I believe it's really technologies which are acting as the catalyst for change. And if we don't act now, when? So these two diagrams, they are illustrating to you just the whole bubble that we are in. And it's truly the whole consumer sector which is impacting, which is affecting us quite a lot, especially the whole user experience that we have going. And just an interesting fact for you, did you know that by 2025, 8 billion people are going to be hyper-connected with each other? 8 billion people. And we're going to have 1 trillion sensors all around us. But by 2025, 26.4 million software engineers are going to exist. And that number is just the equivalent of the whole of Australia in terms of population size. So it's just increasing, and just this whole digital revolution is all around us. And by 2025, each one of us, on average, are going to have 9.5 devices on us. So now if you just count how many, you may have a smartwatch, as we saw this morning from Stefan, very nice. We may have 2 mobile phones, 2 laptops, that's me. And what other devices do people have? So we are just going to increase in this whole digital spectrum drastically. And this inevitably is going to change the way we will work with each other. So firstly, the whole changing in the workforce. We just saw in the diagram illustrated earlier to us all of the different generations, all of the different drivers. And it's interesting to see that, for example, my generation Y, we, by the end of our career, we will have changed our jobs 20 to 22 times throughout of our career. And that brings me also to this whole changing in the workplace, because we are living in a virtual world with transparency, traceability, flexibility, and that will just change the way we will work, where we will work, and how we will work. And also how we will work with each other due to technologies. Which brings me to my third point. All of the booming technologies in the industry. Yes, we have big data, we have robotics, also disrupting the whole production industry. We have AI, ML, blockchain. I wonder how many of your partners or your suppliers maybe may have already some sort of interference on the blockchain. And IoT, Internet of Things. As we heard in the previous talk, right at the beginning today, Internet of Things are going to disrupt the way we operate. By 2022, it said that 20% of all of the cars globally are going to be connected to the internet. And by 2024, half of all of the home trafficking will also be connected to the internet. So it's going to disrupt the way we will work and also our private life. And the future is now, ladies and gentlemen. We've been going through drastic change in the past years, ever since I started in the whole workforce, back then in my automotive time. And for example, back in the days when I had some big negotiations with my suppliers, I was never allowed to tell each supplier about each other or inform them and keep everything very secretive. And now it's all about open communication, supplier relationship management. There has been a trust. We communicate what we know, we try to help each other, and like this, thrive together. And that makes innovation being the co-driver. Leading to value creation, the speed to market, speed of our decision making, or even portable manufacturing. Many of the manufacturing sites may disappear in the LEDCs due to some 3D printing, which we can now introduce into our production site. And the whole end-to-end supply chain, through blockchain being a mean, it can definitely help us with our traceability, with our third-party knowledge, with having a timestamp that we know where approximately at which harbor has our product been before. And that all comes down to the provisional workforce, contingent workforce. It's not about these long-lasting contracts any longer. We're going into a time where we will definitely have a lot of this contingent workforce, project-based work. And that all comes down together to the role of leadership. May I have a show of hands in the audience? How many in the past, in your career, have come to work one day motivated and then suddenly just became so demotivated from your manager when you proposed an idea and he said, "No, we've never done it like this before"? nearly everybody. So I wonder, what makes a great leader? What makes a great leader in the future? Are there any ideas of what could make a great leader in the future, Tatjana?
Communication skills.
Good communication skills, absolutely, yes.
Mentoring.
Being a mentor, absolutely. Well, let's find out. We have key skills and capabilities that are definitely going to impact the way we will lead in the future. And it's all about good communication. And like with good communication, open communication, you will be able to influence your team accordingly. Through more soft skills, understanding the person as a human being, this will trigger the whole emotional intelligence within the team. Through being curious, asking a lot of questions, trying to understand, will help you problem solve. Through using your intuition, understanding your intuition, this will help you with your change management in the organization. And being agile. Agile is such a humble word nowadays, being used quite frequently. And this whole agile approach of mingling between all these different generations is going to increase your collaboration, the way you interact with each other. So I would like to now give you my 3 ultimate tips, what will make a good leader for you and of the future. Because right now we're living in a really intercultural time with all these different generations which are all around us. And right now being authentic will be a key factor going forward in the future as a leader. Being able to have this open communication in a humble way, trying to increase and definitely increasing the trust level within your team. So in order to be authentic, we need to be self-aware. Self-aware of yourself, and this will help you lead with heart. Focus on long-term strategy, your purpose, the value for your business. And this will increase integrity within your team because you will march the way together. Transparency. If you're transparent with your goals, with your objectives, this will increase consistency. It's like going on a hike in the beautiful Swiss Alps, and then you have your whole team. And you're explaining to the team where we're going, what the hike will be, which mountain you will climb. And like this, you can get consistent feedback, consistent updates of how the team member is doing, where the team is struggling. And that is leading with vision. Listening. If you're a good listener, you're an amazing communicator. And we mustn't forget recognition. Recognition and just recognizing the moment. We are currently in organizations still a bit humble to really recognize and share achievements with each other. And if someone has done a good job, definitely mention it to the team, mention it in the newsletter, in the town hall. It's important to communicate and reward in such a way that they feel their work is important and is being listened to. And then giving feedback on a really regular basis. It's going to be essential in the future, also managing all these different generations in the future. This will bring me to step number 2, having this whole people-centric approach. So people-centric approach refers to, as a leader, you need to think of each team member as a whole person. The person, they go to work, they have their private life, but at the end of the day, they spend around 10 hours a day at work. So being able to see them as a whole person. And understanding what their priorities are, what is important for them, and adjusting your management according to them. Like this, you'll be able to inspire them, make them feel trusted, and they can go home fulfilled and happy and motivated to continue the journey. then empower the learning environment. Once you understand what the individuals are searching for in your organization, in your team, what their inner desires are, caring for them for their career, you will be able to approach them, increase their positivity in productivity in a very positive way. Because as Gardner says, he predicts that if you increase your positivity within the organization, 40% of output generated of results actually going to increase. And this will also lead to increasing in trust, building relationships, seeing the person as a whole person overall. And this brings me to point number 3, being courageous. Lead with courage. When you build your team, it's the way I build my team. I never hire individuals which are similar to me, which have my sort of upbringing or my background or my skill sets. I believe if you hire a team, if you make a team, it's so important to understand other areas. And I try to get a big diversity of team members so they can teach me of what I don't know. And like this, I'll be able to also help them how they would like to be led in the whole organization. So being a vulnerable, humble leader, listening and seeing and helping that individual to go on their whole career path. So these are the 3 aspects of approaches for a future leader: being authentic, being courageous, and being people-centric. But this is not everything, ladies and gentlemen. We have leaders, but we mustn't forget our talents, all the generations in the workforce. And this will bring me, before I explain my key tips, how to motivate and retain all of the generations in the workforce, I would like to show you what one or the other leader here may face in the future, what kind of job interview to expect. Please take a look.
Amy, it says you are trained in technology. That's very good. Are you adept at Excel?
No.
PowerPoint?
No.
Publisher?
Not really.
Exactly in what area of technology are you proficient?
Snapchat, Pinterest, Instagram, Vine, Twitter. You know, the big ones.
I'm surprised you didn't say Facebook.
That's for old people, like my parents. That's funny.
Well, Amy, when you're working for me, you have to have those kind of research skills because I'll send you things for you to comb through and get the answers and send them to me. So for that, you got to be really good at technology.
For stuff like that, no problem. I'll just ask Siri.
You'll just ask Siri?
You know, Siri tell me this, Siri find me that. We're all good at getting you the answers.
Tell Siri I want you ready to go at 8 sharp each and every morning.
I don't understand
What don't you understand?
what you just said.
You don't understand be ready to go?
No. You said 8, right?
Yes.
8 like in the morning 8?
Yes, in the morning.
Yeah. That kind of doesn't work for me. Who gets up at 8?
I do.
I Skype with my French boyfriend in Paris until like 3 in the morning. I don't even get to Starbucks until like 10, where I order my grande chai tea latte, 3 pumps, skim milk, light water, 2% foam, extra hot, but not too hot. So if it's okay, I work best in the morning at 10:45.
Wow. Amy, I don't think we're going to be a good fit.
Why are you so negative? I can sense your hostilities, and right now I am not feeling very safe. I've been here for over 5 minutes, and the only nice thing you have said to me was nice resume, which I typed all night for this meeting with you. You've given me no guidance, no validation, no encouragement, no supervision. Is there an HR director somewhere?
HR director?
Yes, I need to speak to someone. I may have to take off today as a mental health day.
Take today off. Amy, Amy, look at me. You don't work here.
Are you firing me?
Okay, yes.
All right, you're all still sitting, you're all not terrified yet. I haven't scared you off. No need to be scared. But we just need to be adaptable to our newcomers and more flexible in terms of our leadership style in the future. And I would like to give you my 4 ultimate tips for you now to take home, how to manage, how to retain all of the different generations in the workforce. Tip number 1, clarity. It's so important to be transparent in your goals, in your objectives. Communicate with a clear message, because at the end of the day, we won't be able to read your mind, read what you think. So definitely communicate in a very clear manner. And that can be either through the digital means, or if you get to have some FaceTime, maybe once a week. Depends on your organization, how flexible they are in terms of the whole virtual working environment. And then being mindful and aware of each individual needs. Secondly, instantaneousness. We have so many technologies all around us. Right now, looking at LinkedIn and Facebook and Instagram and Snapchat and TikTok coming up, and how to manage all of these different communication means. And as we saw in the video, it is actually through generations. I think Facebook, of course, we most of us may still have Facebook accounts. Then we have Instagram, then Snapchat, which came up approximately at the same time, and now TikTok, which is just which will slowly also come and be all around us. So instant communication, as we also heard in the talk before, also the dating aspect has changed. It's all about instantaneousness. Swipe left, swipe right. It's about the way you communicate with each other within the organization, having these on Skype Messenger, how many people, instead of walking to the other colleague, actually just ping your colleague and just quickly ask them the question like this. And it's just a matter of acting, of having a lot more communication, having this, we started with letters, email flow, and now it's just about instant messaging. Flexibility. When I started in the workforce around 10 years ago, I really had a work which was come into the office at 8 and finish work at 5:45 or 6, and having that routine. And nowadays it has just really changed. I currently do a lot of home office, but also go to the office to see my colleagues proactively, and having that whole flexibility that may sometimes trigger challenges when to see your team members. So being able to accept this whole virtual working style, every company deals with it differently at the moment. And number 4, leading versus managing. Instead of having someone come into the organization, just present the whole book, this is the processes, this is how we've done it over the past 50 years and it has worked. Just say what your goal is, and let that talent get inspired. Let that talent come and establish and bring the solutions to you. And then this can trigger some really nice conversations. Because at the end of the day, they are digital natives and they are there to help us. So leading versus managing. Being able to, I believe leading a team is like parenting. You only want the best for your children. You only want the best for your team. I would like to be a leader in the future, a leader that I never had myself. Being an inspirational thought leader to all of your talents, helping them to thrive even better than you can ever expect to ever have achieved something, and helping them to thrive and accelerate in their career. Because if you help them, that will build the trust, that will help the cooperation within the team, and they will be there to help you and help you fulfill the goals. So it will be a collaboration. Let your team go home being fully inspired, feeling a that they can go back to work in a safe place, in a trustworthy place, and being that inspirational thought leader to change the way we operate, communicate with each other. That, ladies and gentlemen, are my 4 C's, for takeaways, for tips. Adoption, flexibility, embracing clarity in your goals, being instantaneous, and leading versus managing. I hope you all enjoyed this talk, and I will ask Stefan to join me on stage. Thank you.
Danke, Charlotte. Wir haben vereinbart, dass wir das Interview auf Deutsch führen. Darf ich dein Alter verraten?
Ja, gerne.
Charlotte ist 32. Da kommt sehr, sehr viel Erfahrung aus dieser jungen Dame. Du hast einen PhD geschrieben nebenbei. Du hast 2 Bücher mitverfasst und bist leidenschaftlich, wie man sieht, als Rednerin unterwegs. Dafür verdienst du meinen großen Respekt.
Danke.
Danke.